At the flowers, are you familiar with the flowering characteristics of a hickory?
If you could explain that.
Okay. The male flowers are catkins. Know what a catkin is? Catkin hangs down. It's a raceme like inflorescence, and it hangs down. That's where your pollen that gets on your car in the spring. That's one of the sources of it. Pines are another big source. The oaks are another big source. Oaks and these hickories and walnuts have catkins. They are monoecious. Now, you've all seen these male flowers, the catkins, but I bet you have never noticed a female flower. You may have one in your yard, but I bet you haven't. It's a little bitty flower. It's right down at the base of those catkins. So it's not very evident. You don't see it till you see those fruit developing, then you know. So it's monoecious. Both sexes are there on the same tree. So they're imperfect flowers. Catkins, and then the female flowers. So they flower in the spring. The fruit are basically in the fall of the year. Leaf drop is around Thanksgiving, depending on how far north or south you are. But as soon as you get to cold weather, then the leaves are going to drop. They'll have yellow fall color.
So you mentioned that they are more tolerant of drier soils because of the taproot.
Mm-hmm.
Are there some specific requirements for their germination?
Now you're getting in a whole different area. You're talking about the fruit,
Yes.
the germination of the fruit. And yeah, there are specific requirements. They have a cold requirement. That is a stratification that's involved before they will germinate and out. That's the big requirement.
Okay. Are there any like ongoing research questions dealing with these trees or areas of research?
Not for me. I'm sure there's some practical research on the root system because now that we can move them, root pruning them, that sort of thing, so you can move the trees, that makes them becoming commercially available because you can transplant them.
All right, and just as like a last question, if you were making a nature documentary about these trees, what information that we have not discussed already would you think to include? Or just if there's any information that you'd like to leave us with.
I don't know if there's anything different than what we've talked about. I mean, they're very interesting trees. And serve a very useful purpose in the oak hickory forest complex. And with hickories, as a general rule, they are good trees to site homes and buildings around because they're taproot and they're high and dry and you won't have water in your basement.
All right, I think that's everything.
Okay, good.
Thank you so
Good.
much.